With the average cost of a data breach being $4.5 million in 2023, the highest average cost on record, cybercrime continues to wreak havoc on businesses. I'm joined today with Alan Guibord, CEO of Integrated Cyber Solutions, to get an update on his newly listed company and what investors should be excited about leading into the new year. Alan, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Well, I'd like to jump right into this because you recently announced several key clients renewing their contracts with you, as well as the expansion of the services that your team is offering as well. How have sales been going this year, and what are these expanded services that you've launched?
Well, it's interesting, Brendan, before we went public, because of the experience that our team has in both strategy and business and organizational development, we spent a lot of time pre-IPO on developing a plan to execute once the IPO happened. So we didn't really wait for the IPO to think about all the things we're going to be doing. We really planned for it. And what we did was, the first thing we did was expand our services offerings to a more real-time focus. What we found in the marketplace today that because cyber is getting so much more advanced and at a rapid pace, it's no longer good to be testing yourselves once in a while. You really need a full-time focus. So we took our vulnerability, our risk management, and our education offerings and combined them into a real-time service offering so that our clients can feel protected on a day-to-day basis. And it had a good reaction in the marketplace too, because as a result of that, several of our customers increased their revenue with us. And more importantly, the very first customer we've had since we started the company actually doubled revenue with us. So I think that's a validation of our services, and it really made us all feel good. And then the last thing we did was we fully implemented a automated sales and marketing model that allows us to take advantage of all the state-of-the-art tools that are out there to build a really world-class level sales and marketing organization. And we added to that a heavily experienced sales representative to help us really go out and penetrate the market beginning next year.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear because obviously sales are the lifeblood of any company, especially as we're the cheap paper and the cheap money is gone in the capital market space. Now it's okay, what are you doing as a business and how are you getting all of your bottom lines really starting to get those ramped up? And it sounds like that is exactly what you're doing here. And as you just said, as the end of 2023 and getting ready for 2024 around the corner here, do you mind providing investors with a year in review of all the things you've been up to this year, but as well as what's in store for your company in 2024?
Well, as I said before, we planned a lot before the IPO happened. And so we're basically, we're coming out running, as I mentioned before, from the IPO. We were standing there, I say to people, like a Ferrari at the starting line, just waiting for the flag to drop, and we're ready to go. And now that the flag is dropped, we're out there, and we're really increasing our efforts and accelerating our efforts. One of the things we're doing is we're continuing to ramp up the efforts in the continued development of our IC360 platform. Of which AI is a cornerstone of that platform as well. We truly feel that the platform we're building is the integration tool that the industry is going to be looking for now and in the future. We also are constantly upgrading our website. I think we have a really great website, and I would encourage people to go to our site and check out our videos. Every one of the videos on our website are generated by AI. They're not real people. So I think you'd be very surprised to see how schooled we are, and our head of marketing, Kevin Thomas, is in the whole AI space. In addition, we've been very active in identifying acquisitions and go-to-market partners. We're going to continue that activity throughout the 2024 calendar year. 2024 is going to be a breakout year for us. We're starting with a town hall in January. It's really exciting. We hope that a lot of the potential investors will be there because we have a lot to talk about. We'll also be further expanding our services into some key markets in areas that we're going to be announcing later. We have a lot of great plans in that as well. And of course, acquisitions are a great target and our target for our growth. We're hoping to really bring in some strong acquisitions through the coming year. And finally, we're looking at international expansion. We want to bring ICS global.
Yeah, fantastic to hear and exciting to hear as well as an investor myself. Well, I do have one more question before we enter the new year here. The cybersecurity world is always changing, and obviously what is happening this year may not always be what's happening next year. What are some of the biggest trends your team has been seeing in the cybersecurity space, and how does that provide an opportunity for your company?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that we're seeing, Brendan, is the pace of change is accelerating greatly. It's almost like Moore's law in technology. It seems though the faster we get into this cyberspace, the quicker things keep happening. So what we really see is a key to the future is better integration, and that's why we call ourselves integrated cyber. Because we think the key area that's missing in most corporations today is a lack of adequate integration of all the tools they have. They have a lot of the best tools in the marketplace, but the problem is they're not bringing all of the information and results of those into an understandable single location where they can act on them. And also, too, I believe there's going to be a more heightened awareness in the SMB marketplace. Because the larger companies now as well are focusing on the cyber readiness of the SMBs, because a lot of the bad guys now have figured out that the best way to get to the big guys is through the SMBs. So we need to focus on bringing those people up to speed and giving them the tools that they need. Again, we also need a real-time platform and accelerated response. We can't act quick enough anymore. The bad guys are just getting better and better every day. It's a unique competition. And lastly, we have to be able to adapt to new changes and new advancements in the industry. As I said when I started the answer to our question, things are changing so rapidly today that it's almost impossible to stay up. What we have done is created a model that allows us to constantly implement the latest and greatest technologies, assuring that all of our clients will always be up to date. We call it future-proof. So I think in a nutshell, that's where I see the market going over the next year or two.
Yeah, and it sounds like there's some exciting times over the next year or two. Looking forward to seeing those developments in your company. Alan, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you, Brandon.